Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
From the Ramsey Network, this is The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create amazing relationships. I'm George Kamel, joined by my friend Jade Warshaw, and we're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. You call us up. We'll do our best to give you the right next step for your life and your money. Sarah is going to kick us off in Houston, Texas. What's going on, Sarah? How can we help today?
So my question is, how do I tell my mother-in-law or my husband that my mother-in-law is holding us back financially? She's 60 years old. She doesn't work. We pretty much pay for everything, her rent. My husband has her car in his name, but she pays like the car note, and she's constantly asking for money. Like at one point she was asking me for money and telling me not to tell my husband.
Ooh. Yikes. Well, this is a pattern. This has been happening for a long time.
Yes, and he's in the past, maybe about 10 years ago, she actually lost her apartment, like stopped paying rent, lost it, and then had to move in with a friend. And so he's been taking care of her.
Is she unwell? Is she sick?
She's not sick. She does collect like a check from the government. I think it's only $1,000.
Disability?
Yeah, disability.
What do you know what that was for? What's the nature of that?
I don't know.
Okay. But nothing that you're seeing as a real issue to her working?
No, because I've seen her volunteer her time at like homeless shelters or like thrift stores, and she'll tell me, I volunteered my time and they gave me a discount on X, Y, and Z.
She's on the verge of being in a homeless shelter. Yeah. She needs to get to work.
Is she divorced or did her husband pass away? What's the story there?
She divorced maybe when my husband was like not even one years old. Or she's been on her own with two kids for a really long time.
So your estimation of her, I just want to make sure that George and I understand your estimation of her. She is able-bodied, able to work.
Yes.
She's all the lights on her on upstairs, so she could, go interact and have a job. And are you just feeling like she's kind of just coasting or a little lazy? Is that how you're feeling?
I think she's just, and she's really, that's how I feel exactly. She's really lazy. Right now I have a newborn and I have her in daycare, and they want me to switch and employ her and give her the $1,000 instead of the daycare. But I feel like if I do that, she's going to just use the $1,000 for whatever she wants instead of paying her rent.
Okay. Would she do a good job taking care of the baby? Do you feel like she would?
No, I don't feel like she would.
Okay. Understood.
So
there's some triangulation happening here. This should be between you and your husband, and then it should be between your husband and his mother. And right now, she's trying to circumvent him to go to you to try to guilt you into it. Have you talked to your husband about this? Where is he at? Is he just like, well, we need to take care of her, and she's my mom?
Exactly. That's how he feels. And I've even told him, like, hey, I would I would give her the opportunity to watch my daughter if I could just use the $1,000 and pay it straight to her rent.
But you said you didn't even trust her to watch the baby. I feel like that's a moot point at this point.
That's true. Yeah.
So we got to take that off the table. Here's the thing. The only reason you're considering letting this woman watch your child, even though you don't think that she's really do a good job, is because you're thinking of ways that maybe she could start paying her rent. None of that's your job. She's grown. Like you said, she's grown. She's able-bodied. She's, the lights are on. There's no reason in your mind, and I trust that you're telling us the truth, that she can't go out and make some money and have an apartment and, do that thing. Now, at the very least, can I ask you this? Let's pretend you were able to get her out into an apartment. And it caused you to kind of say, hey, let's help you with first and last month's rent just to get you out. Would you be willing to do something like that? Or are you like, hey, I don't want to put any money into this woman whatsoever. I just want her out of the house.
I don't want to put any money into her at all.
Okay. Then that's the conversation you have to have with your husband. Have you talked about it? And if so, how did it go?
It doesn't go really well. It's usually like, Joe will just consider it. And then that's the end of the conversation. I have told him that, like, I do consider it, but it's off the table because she owes me money. She's borrowed money from me, and I don't think she's very good with money. And so I I don't feel comfortable giving her $1,000 a month and knowing that she could be homeless or asking me for more money.
What do you guys take home every month?
So I make $100,000, so a little over $100,000. So my checks are usually like $3,000. I don't give to my 401k right now.
Why is your check so low?
You mean like every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
great. Loving that.
You scared us. I was like, you're getting robbed here.
$6,000 for
Okay.
$6,000 for me, and it's like around.
What about your husband?
$7,000.
Okay.
For him?
Do you guys combine your finances, or do you kind of keep it separate and you split the bills?
We keep it separate, and mainly because she usually asks for a lot of money from him, and so I just don't want to be a part of that.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I think that could be at the core of what's making this a very hard decision between you and your husband, because if I am viewing my finances kind of separately, which means there's parts of my life that I view separate, and that means there's certain parts of my life that I believe that I have the only vote on. Then if somebody comes along and says, hey, there's this thing that's affecting our life. If I'm thinking, well, I'm the one that's paying for it, she's my mom. Do you see what I'm saying? Because there's that separation there. I think that's where he's finding validation to be able to say, no, it's okay. I'm going to keep her here, because he's probably viewing it as I'm keeping it here. I'm fine to spend some money on her. It doesn't bother me. But if you guys can does that make sense? Like, George, are you?
Yeah, I mean, because it's separated, he's gone, well, this is $1,000 of my money, so what's it matter to you? That's probably in the back of his mind. I don't know that he'd say that out loud. But truthfully, you're saying this is holding us back financially. It's not. You make $13,000 a month take home. You're doing great. It's the resentment that is breeding inside of you. That should be the thing you're paying attention to, going, I don't agree with this. We never agreed on this as a couple. We need to figure out an exit strategy here, or a way for her to be independent, because she could live till 90, which means 30 years of subsidizing her lifestyle. That's the part you need to focus on, not the, hey, this is holding us back financially, husband. Because mathematically, he's going to go, no, we're fine.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. I'm like, we're investing so much money into her. She could live until she's 90, and then our kids will have to take care of us.
And it's your house.
So much.
Like,
exactly.
The money side part aside, there's a person that's in your house that you don't really want them to be there, and they don't need to be there.
And if you're giving her $1,000 a month, we can figure out a plan for her to go make $1,000 a month with a part-time job.
Yes, exactly.
She's 60. She's not 86. And so there's nothing wrong with her going to work if she's able-bodied, and you can help her with that. It doesn't need to be cruel. You don't need to throw her on the street. It's just, hey, what is something you could do that brings in $250 a week?
Exactly.
Now we have a game plan here instead of just it being emotional.
Yeah, so I think the action steps here, I think the first conversation you need to have is I think first action step is you need to do some soul searching about why you've kept things separate financially, and really get a hold on what your view on that is, Sarah. Then the next part is having that conversation first about, hey, our lives are separate. We need to draw our lives together. And I think that might start financially with us having this transparency there. And I think the mother-in-law discussion comes further down the line, and you might have to bear this out a little bit longer until you're at that point in the conversation.
George, I went my whole life avoiding being on the internet. And now everything I do in my life, my professional life, my personal life, everything's on the internet. And so now identity theft protection means the world to me and my family.
And I'm the resident techie millennial here, so I've been on the internet since before it existed, and I've actually had my identity stolen before, but good news, we both have identity theft protection from Xandr. They monitor our personal info on hundreds of thousands of databases, and they alert us of any suspicious activity.
And that's everything from social security number activity to home title monitoring and more.
So the key is identity theft does happen, unfortunately, but if it happens, Xandr handles everything, up to $2 million in stolen funds protection and white glove service to restore your life back to normal.
I don't understand how the internets work. I don't understand what's going on in this little cybery world. And that's why I'm so grateful for Xandr. They've got me and my family's back. They've got you and your family's back. And it gives me one less thing to worry about, one less thing to be anxious about, and it lets me be a dad that sleeps at night.
Yes, and all you got to do is go to Xandr.com or call 800-356-4282 to protect your family with the most complete ID theft protection available. That's Xandr.com. Christine is up next in Los Angeles, California. What's happening, Christine? How can we help?
Hi there. Thank you so much. I'm my own worst enemy. I'm going to call myself out. I've choked a couple times trying to keep up with the budgeting. I'm not technically savvy at all. But I've come a long way. I've got the first 4 steps done, I think. But now I'm starting to question myself again because last year I was ready to start the life insurance, and then I choked and didn't do it. And then I'll start listening to the show again, and I'm like, oh, I need to get this done. And
what's stopping you from getting life insurance? Because that's not even a baby step.
Because I'm putting money into other things, getting those savings done, and starting to build the emergency fund and everything. And we have put our daughter through private school, so that's all done. I just started a new job where I'm making more than I thought I would be making. So I want to set that separately, and I was going to put that in the Roth IRA. But I'm like, I really think we need life insurance because we ain't getting any younger, and we're in our mid-50s. So I'm kind of panicking.
I wonder if you're trying to do too much of this on your own, because I heard the word we. So you're married?
Yes, and it is me.
Okay,
maybe it is me doing this.
Maybe that's part of it because you sound tired. Like you sound like, you were like, oh, I tried to do this, and I'm my own worst enemy, and I choked when it was time to do. Like I feel like the way you're talking about it is very like it's a slog.
And I was cleaning house waiting.
I mean, the actual process of like Xandr.com, enter age, birthday, health, submit, get quote.
I mean,
like it's not. I think there's more to it. So what happened after that?
Okay, I did that and I got the call, but I was unsure how much.
Okay,
where.
Now there's a solvable.
Okay.
See, I wanted to get to some facts we could help you solve. So what is your concern about how much? What is your current income?
I don't know if I can answer that off the top of my head.
Ballpark it. Is it 10,000 or 100,000?
Monthly?
Every year.
Every year. Oh, that I don't know because I don't do the taxes.
Christine, not you working and putting your life into your work and not knowing what you earn.
Someone like hired you because you're smart and stuff.
You got to know what you're...
And they probably said, here's your offer letter with the salary, right? What was the number on that piece of paper you signed? This is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
It's not salary. It's not salary.
Oh, are you sales? Is it commission?
Yes.
Oh, is it all commission?
Okay, I see.
At a winery, yes, at a winery, and it's not full time; it's part time.
Okay, so on a monthly basis, like what's a kind of normal check for you?
On a monthly basis, our total income is probably close to $7,000.
But what's your income of that? Because we want to know what percentage, like how to multiply and figure out your insurance that you need.
Okay, now I feel unprepared. I should know that.
So what you're going to need is about 10 to 12 times. That's what we're looking at.
Your annual income. Mm-hmm. Not household, just yours personally. Because the point of life insurance is to replace your income should something happen to you.
Okay, so my annual income,
So that's your homework.
10 to 12%.
10 to 12 times.
10 to 12 times. So if you made $100,000 10 times, you'd have $1 million coverage.
If it's $50,000, you need at least $500,000 in coverage on a term life policy. Ignore anything that says whole life or permanent life or universal life or index. Ignore all of that.
Okay.
Stick to term life.
And the same thing for your husband, by the way, would be true if he's, working outside the house, which it sounds like he is.
No.
No? Elaborate.
We have a special needs adult son.
Okay.
25, nonverbal, low functioning.
Okay.
Autism. So he is now the primary caregiver.
Understood.
In the home.
Okay, so then
you're bringing home $7,000 a month working part-time at a winery on a commission job?
No, I wish. No, that's what I'm like kind of estimating is our total income.
How does he get money? Or is that some of that money for your child?
It is.
Okay.
So it's that whole in-home support services because we get paid to care for him.
Okay, which means your husband really needs life insurance because he's providing an invaluable service to your home.
You need private in-home care full-time if something happened to him. Translation.
Well, it's both of us, technically. It's both
yes,
of us.
But you're able to work outside the house. My point is if something, God forbid, were to happen to your husband tomorrow, you would suddenly be like, oh my gosh, I need another body in this house. I need somebody to do the things that he was doing. So make sure he also has a policy, 4 or 5 times that, what his value is, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And we can monetize it by the money that is being brought in for your son's care.
Okay.
So let's straighten out your financial situation. You guys are completely debt-free, and you have an emergency fund?
Yes.
How much is in that emergency fund?
18.
Okay, good. And now, baby step 4, we're investing 15% of our household income. Are you guys doing that into retirement accounts right now?
No, that's where I'm stuck.
Okay. So you're going to do that you're going to get term life insurance today, and you're going to start prioritizing. So there's no priority. Okay. The 401k doesn't take priority over life insurance because they're not in competition. Okay. Life insurance is going to happen today. You'll apply for that. You'll pay monthly, quarterly, annually, however you want to do it. And then you're also going to put 15% of your future income into those retirement accounts.
Right. Okay. So that's what I was trying to do is just take my commission from this new job and all my cash tips. And that's what I'm saying. I'm working for my retirement fund. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. That's a way to think a bit of it, but it's not necessarily, it could do you a disservice because if that's not 15% of your income, you could be investing far less. So what you need to do is I'm going to challenge you to get very organized here because to do what George and I are telling you, you're going to have to really do some diligence and look back on your year and say, okay, what do I make a year? What is a normal amount of money that I bring in? And kind of get a sense of that. Or you could just do month by month, whatever I earned, I'm going to calculate what 15% of that was before I paid taxes. And I'm going to, park that away in a Roth IRA.
Okay.
But 15% is what you're looking for because if you're not doing that, you may not meet the goals that allow you to retire with dignity.
Okay.
How old are you two?
You.
You're welcome.
Hi, I am 52 and he is 57.
Do you guys have combined finances or are you kind of doing this on your own?
Doing it on our own.
Okay.
On our own? That's an interesting turn of phrase. So is he doing his own thing? And he's going, hey, you do what you want to do, but I got my own thing going over here.
No. I'm just trying to take over this role so he doesn't have to. He does other things. And it's kind of complicating.
So let's talk about that then, because there's a difference between somebody kind of running point on a team versus I do everything myself because no one else is part of this. So you running point on a team, which the team would be you and your husband, would be maybe you taking the lead and saying, hey, we need to do life insurance, and him taking a vested interest and saying, okay, great. Are you calling Xander? And you're like, yeah, I am. And you guys having that communication, because just having that communication takes some of the load off of you. As opposed to, I have to get the life insurance. I have to do the research. I have to make the call. I have to make the budget. I have to, sign up for the Roth.
You're going to get overwhelmed real quick.
No, you're not okay with that. You're not okay because you're calling us. You're calling us. You're not okay with it. So my point.
Initially, I was okay with it. Now I'm stuck.
Right. So you need to start having a conversation with your husband and saying, here's the thing. There's things that you're carrying in the house and there's things that I'm carrying. But when it comes to finances, we need to carry them together because I'm getting overwhelmed. Here's what I need from you, and tell him what you need.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
And you can jump on, Christine, to RamseySolutions.com/checkup. We have a really great coverage checkup tool that will demystify all of this for you. Make sure that you have the right coverage, not too much, not too little, not coverage you don't need, exactly what you need for your family. So go check it out, RamseySolutions.com/checkup. Hopefully we can simplify your finances.
I've been helping people get margin back in their budget for over 30 years, and switching your phone plan is one of the easiest wins out there, especially with Boost Mobile. Boost gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month. And I'm not talking about some promo rate that goes up later. That $25 price is locked in forever. No contracts, no headaches, and with their 30-day money-back guarantee, there's no risk. So stop wasting money. Go to boostmobile.com/Ramsey today. Restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com/Ramsey for details.
Two-thirds of Americans die without a will. When you do that, here's what happens. You are just inviting the court, lawyers, and the public into the most personal part of your life. So don't let the government decide what happens to your estate, or even worse, your children. I want to challenge you to create your will this August. In less than 5 minutes, you can find out if an online will works for you at RamseySolutions.com/willsquiz, or just click the link in the description if you're listening on YouTube or podcast. And if you do find out that an online will fits your situation, you can get 25% off when you use the promo code WILLMONTH. That's one word, WILLMONTH, at checkout during the month of August. Again, RamseySolutions.com/willsquiz is the place to go. Get it done. Whether it's term life or I know it's the last thing you want to go spend 15 minutes doing.
Well, George, we had the perfect segue getting into this because during the break we were talking about self-driving cars.
Oh, that's right.
We could have just...
That's why I have a will. Just in case the car decides, no more. This is my final destination. I do think that would happen to me. Like my car just stops on the interstate at 80 miles an hour for no reason.
I don't think my heart can handle a self-driving car. I don't think that I could do it.
Here's the thing. I trust robots more than humans at this point, as far as their safety.
If they were all self-driving cars, maybe that's different. But as long as
Here's my challenge to you. Next time you're driving, look over at every car and see how many of them are just texting on their phones.
I know.
Scrolling Instagram, not even paying attention.
I know.
At least the robots have sensors and cameras. They're trying.
That's true.
Humans have just given up.
They've given up. I'm like, they're on Instacart. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't you see your very life is at stake? Anyway.
There we go.
Moving on.
Get your will. Michael's in Fort Myers, Florida. What's going on, Michael?
Hey, guys. So I'm 22 years old, got married 8 months ago. And we are currently living in a family friend's house. They are missionaries, so they're out of the country for a year until next June. So they're renting to us at $800 a month plus utilities, which comes to about $1,300 a month. Okay. And my question is, when June comes, should my wife and I either rent a place nearby, rent an apartment until we can save up for a down payment for a house? Should we go immediately and use all first-time homebuyer benefits to buy a house? Or my parents are offering us to stay at their place for 6 months while we are able to save up some money for a down payment.
What do you guys make a month?
Currently $7,000 plus commission.
Amazing. So what are you doing with all that extra money? Sounds like your expenses are super low.
Well, currently we have $27,000 in car payments, in car loan total.
Okay.
Anything else?
Any other debt?
No, that's it.
No student loans? No credit cards?
No student loans. No credit cards.
Okay. So how long would it take you to save up a down payment to where you have a mortgage that's no more than 25% of your take-home pay?
Well, I think theoretically, if I see there's some first-time homebuyer programs that allow you to do 3.5.
Wrong answer. We said, how long is it going to take you to save up a down payment? Not how do you get into a 0% mortgage where you're underwater day one broke with a huge mortgage payment because you have 100% mortgage. That's what you're telling us.
Got it. Okay.
So this
Well,
is we're talking a 15-year fixed rate mortgage where the payment's no more than a quarter of your take-home pay. So when you use our mortgage calculator at RamseySolutions.com, it'll show you pretty quickly what kind of house you can actually afford, not what the bank says you can afford, not what the FHA, USDA loan says you can afford.
So let's work this plan. Let's kind of work this out for you to help you out. So first things first is we need to pay off the debt that you have. So this is the order in which this will take place so that you can purchase this house when the time comes, and it can be a blessing for you and not a burden, to where you're not calling us back a year and a half later saying, I'm underwater in my house. I'm struggling with my house payment. Okay, so the first thing what we need to do is tackle the debt. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to start by saving up $1,000, just getting that little money aside just in case, because from that point on, we're going to put all extra money, all savings towards paying off this debt, this $27,000 car debt that you have.
How much do you guys have in savings?
Well, currently $1,000 because we're trying to pay off the debt.
Okay,
Good.
Great. So you understand that part. And I want you tonight, your homework, if you haven't already, is I want you to get on Every Dollar, and then I want you to calculate how long, with the margin and the income that you have, how long will it take you to pay off this $27,000 of car debt? So that's your homework. Then the next thing after you've paid the debt off is now we need to have an emergency fund, because you can't be out here buying a house. You can't buy a $400,000 house and then when the $4,000 AC blows out, you're up a creek, right? That doesn't make sense. So you got to have some money saved to be able to actually care for the house and the things that go along with home ownership. So you need 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in an emergency fund. That comes after you've paid off the debt. And then now we can start saving up a down payment. So you've got a ways to go. You guys are newlyweds, for crying out loud.
Yeah, you're 22. You're doing great.
You got a long ways to go. You're not in a rush. You're not in a hurry. So let's take your time and do it right.
Can I give you some napkin math to help you with this, Michael? I think it'll give you some motivation.
Yeah, please.
You make $7,000 a month. Could you throw $4,500 of this at your debt if you got real intense?
Probably.
Every month? Okay. Then your debt is gone in 6 months. So February of 26, you're debt free. Tracking?
Mm-hmm.
Now take the car payments plus the $4,500. You could throw $5,000 a month toward that emergency fund, couldn't you?
Yeah.
4 more months, we have $20,000. Still tracking?
Mm-hmm.
We're at June of 26. Your missionary friends are back. You guys go rent somewhere, completely debt free, still making $7,000 plus commission. Now you could save $5,000-$6,000 a month toward a down payment fund, couldn't you?
Yeah.
That's $60,000-$70,000 a year. So now we're renting for a year or two. We have a 6-figure down payment, no debt, with an emergency fund. Do you feel how peaceful it would be to buy a house like that?
Yeah, definitely.
And by the way, you're like, I don't know, 24 by then?
Just a young gun. Just a whippersnapper.
And there's no law in America as it stands that says you have to buy a home by 25 or else you're a loser. That's just what social media told you.
Oh, gosh. Otherwise, I'd 100% be the loser.
Hey, I've been called a loser for other reasons. So I hope that encourages you, Michael. You're doing better than you think, but I would not rent with family. I would just go rent somewhere. You got to be with your spouse. Because when I'm at my mom's house, here's what happens. Mom says, no, don't lift a finger. I'll fold that laundry. Let me cook. Let me grab your plate. And there's something about being an adult and leaving the whole leave and cleave and being one with your spouse to go, I'm an independent grown man. Let's visit for the holidays.
You went to the nice example. I'm like, you're in your room, you're with your lady, and here's mama knocking on the door, and you're like, Mom,
I brought snacks.
Right. You're like, now's not the time,
my wife's going to be very happy to hear that.
Yeah. And you guys, if you guys were in like some real desperate stage of life and you needed a place to crash for a little bit, sure. There's no crisis happening here. You guys are making great money. You're going to get rid of the car payments fast. You've got a good housing situation. Use it to your advantage to get to a better place financially and avoid the FHA, VA, USDA. Stick with the conventional fixed rate loan. 15 years is going to set you guys up for success. Because think about this. If you get a house at 25, let's say, and you get a 15-year loan, worst case, if you just make the minimum mortgage payment, you are completely debt-free by 40. You know how weird that makes you in America today?
Yeah.
So just know, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but if you just follow through on this plan to a T and don't veer from it, you will be completely debt-free by 40 worst case, and likely what's going to happen is you'll be debt-free by 34 because you're going to go, we can knock this out in 9 years instead of 15 because you did it the right way with margin.
Michael, be honest. Did we convince you?
You convinced me. You convinced me. One other question, if I could. We do plan on having kids within this time frame. Would that affect any of the finances or anything?
Oh yeah, it's all out the window. Forget I said anything. I'm kidding.
I mean, you're gonna
kids
have
are
some
a wonderful
things pop
blessing.
up. Yeah, go definitely have the kids. Yeah, you might have some daycare costs pop up. Obviously, that, like George said, he did napkin math for you, so there's going to be some variables in there that change. But by and large, you're still on track to do exactly what he said.
If you say 4,000 instead of 5,000, you're still going to be just fine. The key is, can you live on less than you make and use the surplus to get through the baby steps? Mm-hmm. That is the key, regardless of the number. Now, the bigger the number, the better. It's going to speed it up. But kids are a blessing, and if that's in the cards for you guys, go for it. And
you'll be making more money too.
Yeah.
All of it balances out.
Thanks for the call, Michael. This is The Ramsey Show. Okay, Rachel, the internet officially knows too much about all of us.
So much, George. I mean, our names, our addresses, even our relatives' names. And what's crazy is even if you opt out, data broker websites can still get your info.
Don't like that. No. And just a year ago, get this, the average person had about 300 pieces of personal data floating around online. Now it's over 600. It has doubled in a year.
You guys, that is so concerning because that info then can be used in phishing scams, impersonation, and even harassment. That's why George and I both use and love Delete Me.
Yes, Delete Me scrubs your personal info from hundreds of these data broker sites, not just once, but all year long. And there's real privacy experts behind the scenes doing this, not bots. So this is digital hygiene we all need.
We all need it. And then they will send you a detailed report showing exactly where they found your data and what they removed. And you can even request custom removals if you have something specific you want them to look out for.
Exactly. And this is not being paranoid. This is staying protected. And so far, Delete Me has removed my info from 240 listings and saved me 94 hours of time it would have taken me to do it.
I love it. And you guys, in a world where strangers can Google your grandma and get enough info to scam her in just 2 clicks, Delete Me gives you peace of mind.
Yes, so go to joindeleteme.com/Ramsey for 20% off. And that discount brings their annual plans down to about $9 a month. So go check it out, joindeleteme.com/Ramsey. If you're enjoying today's show or any episodes of The Ramsey Show, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, send it to someone that you like. Hey, even someone you hate. That could be even more fun. Really tee them off.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a great way to help spread the word about the show, and it kicks up the algorithms and helps us get hope to more people, and that's what we need in America and beyond right now, is some hope. Madison is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What's going on, Madison?
Hi, I am a teacher, and my husband has a pretty good job in the city, and we have a son, and I had no intentions of being a stay-at-home mom, but now after a year and a half, I would love to be a stay-at-home mom.
Love it. Love finds a way, doesn't it?
Tell us the limitations you feel you're facing in doing that.
So being an educator, I have really good health benefits. I have a decent amount of time off in the summer and holidays. So I do feel like it is a best case scenario job being a mom, but we have a house. So we did our whole budget and everything before we had the baby off of 2 incomes.
Of course.
So to go down to 1 income, I think is terrifying.
What does it do if you were to go down to 1 income, what does that do mortgage wise for you? So what percentage does your mortgage eat up of that 1 income?
I would say my salary covers the mortgage.
So what's your husband's salary?
$120.
Okay. So what's he actually taking home every month?
That's a month. He is taking, oh my gosh, I feel like I don't even know.
That's okay. Is it like
7 or 8?
7 or 8?
Yes. Yeah,
okay. So let's say $7,500. And then how much is your mortgage?
Our mortgage right now is $3,300.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's tight.
Edging up to half your income, half the take-home pay going toward that mortgage, which is a lot. Now, does he investing right now in his 401k, and is he covering some healthcare premiums through his checks?
Yes. So unfortunately, he can't be on my health care, so I cover it for my son and I. But yeah, he is a big in retirement, like he is putting money aside and all that stuff.
Okay.
Also, he puts money into an account for our son's education.
Okay. I just want to be clear that our 25% parameter is about your after-tax income, but before other deductions like healthcare premiums or retirement investing, which could help your numbers.
It could help him a lot. So I think that'd be your homework, is go home and find out what that number is. Again, just the after-tax amount, like George said, and then say, okay, what percentage will our mortgage be of that money? Now, if you're like 30, you're fine. Like, you can make that work. Even maybe up to 35, you possibly could make that work for a while.
It's like nothing's on fire. It'll just be tighter and a little bit slower to get through the baby steps.
But if you start creeping to the 40s, you're going to really feel that. So my next question for you would be, do you guys have any debt?
So right now we just have our mortgage and my husband's student loan debt, but those are the only two debts that we have.
How much is a student loan debt?
90.
Girlfriend, how are you going to save that till last?
So right now he doubles what he puts towards his student loan. We're on track to have that paid off in 7 years. But
Can I challenge you guys? That plan sucks.
Oh.
So what I would have him do is pause investing, which is going to hurt his soul, isn't it? Because he loves investing.
Yes.
You know what else it does? Lights a fire under him to get rid of those student loans so he can get back to doing what he loves, which is investing. Because right now he's essentially borrowing money to invest. That's what you're doing by delaying your debt payments to invest instead.
Okay.
So, Madison, is it one baby or two?
We just have one right now, but love the idea of one more. And we're also, I feel like it's like a blessing and a curse, but even if we had another baby, my salary is still more than childcare would be. So it's just like I feel physical pain when I'm away from my son.
I get it. Listen, you're preaching to the choir. I understand. The mortgage piece of this is a very large piece of this puzzle, and you doing the due diligence with your husband to figure that out. And then $90,000 of student loans is a big piece of this puzzle. If I were in your shoes as a mom of two and understanding what it feels like to leave babies at home, I would play out both scenarios, because there is a piece of this that the relational part matters. You wanting to be at home with the kids and having that time, that matters. But quality of life throughout that time also does matter, right? So if you keep the $90,000 of debt and the mortgage is 50%, that's just you literally being at home with the kids, because y'all don't have any money to go anywhere. So there's part of this where you do want to play that out and go, what would it look like? Maybe just 6 more months of working could really change this scenario. Maybe 12 more months of working could really turn this around to where we could pay off this debt. And then when we have baby number 2 or during that period, do you see what I'm saying? So I don't think that I would jump right into this if you care whatsoever about how staying at home feels financially. But again, that's for you and your husband. I mean, I don't think there's not a wrong answer, or does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a math problem here, and there's also an emotional, non-logical thing here, which is I just want to stay home with that baby. And if you're really wanting that, then it's going to require sacrifices. And those sacrifices might mean, hey, we need to downsize the house. You need to go make more income, or you need to do something part-time when he's at home watching the baby, if you want to make this work for now. Now, if you get out of debt and you have an emergency fund, it's going to change the game for you guys and reduce the stress.
Do you have money saved? How much?
Yeah, our savings account right now is like $17,000.
Okay. So essentially, that kind of puts you, gives you a little boost on the debt, because if you choose to do it our way, which I did it this way, George did it this way, what we do is we say, okay, we keep $1,000 aside. That is just our temporary basic emergency fund, and everything else goes towards our debt so we can get it paid off really, really fast. And so for you to do that, that drops you down, and now you're in the 70s instead of in the 90s. And you can clip through that a lot faster, especially if you're both working.
And he pauses investing. And you guys throw a little over $4,000 a month toward the student loans. Well, they're gone in 18 months. A few months later, you have your emergency fund. So now it's like, okay, what if in 2 years I stayed home once I have the second baby, and for now we do the daycare thing, or we find an alternative route for childcare? That might be the way you go. I'm not saying you guys don't decide you're not going to do it today, but if you want peaceful finances in the meantime, and both of you aren't stressed out to your eyeballs, you might want to just go, hey, we're going to still accomplish this dream, but here's the timeline, and here's what we're going to do. We're not going to do 19 things at once. We're going to do the baby steps with focus because we both agreed this is the priority.
And
is getting me to this place.
If I was voting on your situation, I'd vote for plan number 2, which is you get everything on the right footing, you pay off the debt. Maybe it takes a little bit longer, just you in the workforce a little bit longer, and then that's what I would do.
And I did have one more question. So everyone talks to me all the time about this magical pension that eventually I will get. Is it worth giving that up?
Teacher's pension?
What was that?
The teachers, like your teacher's pension?
Yes.
I mean, when you say magical, I would say no, because, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice to contribute to something and have funds there. But the best way that you can to me, the best possible way is when you have more control over the funds. So if you're contributing the same 15% and you're choosing the funds in a Roth IRA, or, you open another vehicle, I think that is just as great.
What Jade's trying to say is pensions perform very poorly and they die with you. Okay. But if you invest on your own, you're going to see higher returns with more control, and you can pass that money down generationally. And so pensions they're not all what they are cracked up to be. Hey, if you got one, great, I'm happy for you, but I would not stick with this career for 25 years and let down the dream of being a stay-at-home mom all for a pension. You can create your own wealth and your own sort of passive income through your nest egg later on down the road. And so this is going to be a tough conversation with your husband. I feel like you're more on board to do whatever it takes, and he might be like, I'm not giving up investing. Forget what those Ramsey guys said. I know better. Right?
Let him listen to this call.
Yeah, I will. And we grew up very differently. He was definitely had a little bit more heartache financially growing up, and my parents were Dave Ramsey fans. They kind of instilled that in us.
Okay.
So we have different life upbringing. So I think it scares him to go down to one income, where I'm like, let's just take the risk.
Well, it won't be a risk if you do it the right way, which is what George and I taught you.
We're getting the boat close to the dock if you follow the baby steps with intensity for another 18 to 24 months. We are rooting for you to be at home with that baby, Madison. Best of luck. Live from the Ramsey Network, this is The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create amazing relationships. I'm Ramsey personality George Kamel, joined by best-selling author Jade Warshaw, and we're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. Aaron is in Danbury, Connecticut. What's going on, Aaron?
Oh, hi, George and Jade. So nice to talk with both of you.
You too. What's going on?
I wanted to run something by someone else that I've been thinking about, a plan my parents told me they're going to do for retirement. Okay. And I'm just trying to figure out if it sounds like at best it just has some pitfalls, or if at worst it's sketchy.
Okay.
All right.
So they have found a retirement community that they think is spectacular. They've put a little down payment on a waiting list. And they told me about the entrance fees, and I can't understand the idea of a refundable, scalable entrance fee.
What do you mean? Every time you drive up, or a club fee?
Oh, no, that's a good question. No, a down payment on living there.
Yes.
So you could pay, for example, $400,000 for a 2-person condo, and you don't get any refunds. Or you could pay almost $1 million and get 90% back in a year or something.
To be on the waiting list, you're saying?
Well, after the waiting list, this would be they would pay a huge sum of money to these people, but they have a choice.
Help me understand.
$400,000, for example, and not get any. Well, that's what I don't understand.
Are you talking about a down payment on the house? Or are you talking about a fee for being part of the club and having amenities? Are you talking about some sort of fee to be on the waiting list?
it's like a retirement community where they're going to like plan to live for the rest of their lives.
Understood.
So it's like just to live there forever.
So you're saying they're going to pay $400,000 on top of the price of the home just to live there?
Right, on top of the monthly fees, yeah. But the people who go up the sliding scale and pay like $1 million get like some kind of 90% refund after a year or something. It just seems really weird to me.
I'll be honest, I'm having a hard time understanding it because I don't think you also have all the information. Now,
have you talked to them personally?
Well, so that's a good question. And I don't have powdered butt syndrome. I'm not going to tell them what to do at all. But I'm trying to like gauge where it could potentially affect my life. Like,
do they have this kind of money?
It might be like most of their nest egg. Yeah, when they go.
I mean, does that include the residence? Is what I'm trying to find out. Does the $400,000 include where they will actually live?
Yes.
Okay,
and then
so
there's like a monthly fee on top of that.
So they're paying $400,000 for a townhouse. Is it a condo? Is it a single family? What is it?
Right. It's like a single family, but they won't own it. It's just then they get to like move when they get a little older into like another dwelling.
Because the idea is this is essentially the last place you live.
Yeah,
understood.
Exactly.
So it's like a ladder?
There's like a ladder for the entrance fees, which I don't understand. And then
I would get clarity on that. I would say this isn't. It doesn't sound like they're trying to scam you. This is pretty normal in the retirement community field. But this is it's kind of like a really high sort of HOA country club fee to buy in. That's really what's happening here, and it's covering their long-term future operating costs. And it's very capital intensive to run one of these places, and so that's kind of the skin in the game fee they charge to get in, knowing that you're going to be here for the rest of your life. And we have to care for all of your needs.
The question for you is, how does this reflect on you if they change their mind, or if
are they going to be broke in 5 or 10 years if they do this? That's the scary part.
What happens if this company like gets sold and the rules changed, or it goes bankrupt?
Oh boy! I mean, I feel like we have to see the bylaws, or like I feel like I'd want to read that in the contract to find out is there any language around that sort of thing. So maybe just ask him, say, hey, you've been talking about this community. Can I go with you to your next meeting with the rep, or however they're going, and get your eyes on some of the literature so you can read through it instead of going off of, because you know how sometimes your mom will explain something and it's like, wait, what? And they leave things out because they understand it, but they're leaving big chunks of it out. So maybe if you can just get in one of those rooms in one of those meetings and get your eyes on the actual papers and contracts, it'll make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
And I would also look into alternative options for them. This is just one, and so I don't want them to get too starry-eyed because they were sold on the brochure and the landscaping. Kind of like what kids do with college. They're like, oh my gosh, it was an amazing tour, and the people are so nice. Yes, and they're charging 5 times for that versus the place down the road. So I would look into other options. I would also just start researching entrance fee for continuing care retirement communities, and you can learn about it online and kind of get your bearings under you before you walk into that meeting so that you're more equipped.
Or you could even call the place up and say, keep them anonymous and say, hey, my parents are going to be living here. Can I come down there and can you walk me through all of it so I understand? Just treat me as though I were somebody who was going to move in here. And that way you could understand it.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
And see what the options are for waiving it. What happens if they don't pay that out? Is there no way to get in if they don't pay the upfront fee, since there's varying levels anyways? So I would just look into all the options and do a whole bunch of homework. Wishing you the best of luck. You're an awesome daughter for doing that. Corey is up in Florida. What's going on, Corey?
Hey, guys. Wow. I'm so excited to talk to both of you. So thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, we're happy to talk to you. What's your question today?
So I am a 27-year-old pilot, not currently working in aviation. My wife and I have $328,000 in debt. Mostly it's a $246,000 mortgage, $52,000 in student loans from flight school, and $23,000 truck loan. We make about $110,000 a year combined, bringing home $7,430 a month. No kids. And my question is, I really want to get back into aviation. But as you know, I think you've heard you guys talk about it maybe once before. Aviation is very expensive, and it would take a lot for me to get back into it. Maybe I have a commercial pilot's license, but it's like I'm not quite experienced enough. I don't have enough hours to really get a job right now.
What's it going to cost to float that gap?
I think, being realistic, if I paid for all of it, be about $15,000. I think that I could really, I could get some time in and, pay for some of it just to get back into it.
So 15 grand gets you to the dream job with making more money?
In part,
okay.
Yes.
What's your truck worth?
It's going on the market tomorrow, by the way.
Okay.
It's worth $22,000. I'm cleaning it up to take some pictures of it. Honestly, we just got blessed with her parents wanted to give us a car, and her sister wanted to give us a car. So we have 2 cars coming in that are reliable.
How about this? With that freed up truck payment, why don't you use that and commit that to savings and save up that 15 grand to get you the education? And then you'll tackle the student loans. That's all that's left other than the mortgage. So the debt's not as much as you think. You can tackle this pretty fast, get aggressive with it to get to that pilot job, and hopefully you can double your household income, man. Cheering you on. Love that.
These days, business as usual is anything but. Tariffs make trade policy a moving target, supply chains are squeezed, and cash flow is probably tighter than ever. So if your business can't adapt in real time, you're in a world of hurt. That's why you need NetSuite by Oracle, trusted by more than 42,000 businesses, including Ramsey Solutions. You need to see what's happening, what's stuck, and what's costing you, and how to fix it. And NetSuite is the #1 cloud-based business management suite because it helps your business make the right decisions fast. It brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one place so you're not left shuffling a dozen different spreadsheets. That gives you the visibility you need to make quick decisions based on actionable data. And NetSuite AI automates everyday tasks so your team can focus on strategy. It's one system for full control and no guesswork to tame the chaos. And right now, if you're leading a business doing more than $1 million in annual revenue, download NetSuite's free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders, at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Today's question of the day is brought to you by YRefi. If your private student loans are in default and you feel stuck, you're not out of options. YRefi specializes in helping borrowers like you find real solutions with low fixed rate refinancing. So go to yrefy.com/Ramsey to learn more. That's the letter Y, REFY.com/Ramsey. May not be available in all states.
All right. Today's question comes from Carl in Georgia. He says, I'm very disappointed with what you advise regarding combining all funds together when married. What about when you've been married less than 2 years and the couple gets married later in life? My wife showed me your video and says she wants her name added to everything I have. Do you think I'm supposed to put her name on everything I had before marriage and then she gets half of that if we divorce? This caused a major problem. And she has moved out. No man on earth would give everything he had before marriage in his wife's name. Please explain yourself.
I love this question so much from Carl.
Listen, Carl, I'm going to have to take a quick breather because Carl is making me mad.
I just love that Carl in the question blaming us for the dissolution of his marriage. Right. Is very telling about how Carl acts in his normal everyday life.
Carl, I'm going to tell you, just because something is your second marriage doesn't mean it should be it's a marriage is still built on the same things. A good marriage is still built on the same things. It's still trust, right? There's still those levels that need to be there. So clearly, even in your second marriage, you're like, there's something about this woman that I don't feel like I can trust her, because you're not willing to share your finances with her. You're not willing to put her name on your assets, and you're already anticipating a divorce because you're saying, well, what will happen when we divorce? And I don't know about you, but I don't feel warm and cushy going into a relationship like that. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some things that we can plan for. Let's say he had millions and millions of dollars, second marriage, he's got children, and she's got, the person he's marrying has nothing. There are some caveats in there and some nuance that can be discussed. But it kind of just sounds like you guys are just kind of like two folks, like two regular folks like me or George. And
it sounds like Carl was already on thin ice, and then she saw this video and went, hey, here's what these Ramsey people said, and that sort of exposed the deeper issues in the marriage, and he didn't like that.
If she said, hey, I want to combine everything, and that made you mad, you must have given her the smoke for her to just up and move out, is what I'm saying. So you already were feeling some type of way about this whole idea. So the problem, my friend, is not with George or I. The problem was you signed
up. The man in the mirror.
The problem is the man in the mirror. I know that's right.
Here's my thing. If I buy a house the day before I get married, and then I go, hey, Whitney, not putting your name on this house, but you better pay half the rent, half the mortgage. Also, you're not getting any equity in this house because I owned it before we were married.
Oh, Lord. Oh, gosh. That's a recipe for a beatdown.
I'll be lucky to sleep on the couch in my own house.
I know, that's right.
It's just terrible. that attitude crushes relationships. It crushes marriages.
Yeah, there's zero trust there. And it's kind of like the opposite. Here we quote Zig Ziglar, if you aim at nothing, you hit it every time. It's almost the opposite. If you're aiming at something to dissolve or possibly divorce, it's like, then that's likely what's going to happen because you've put that out there, and it's almost like you've created a target of when we divorce, when we go our separate ways. And there's no way that you can avoid that. I mean, I don't know about you, George. When I was married, the advice I got was you never even need to say the word divorce. Like, you just need to don't even put it in there and just act like every problem is a problem that can be solved. And I mean, we know there's limits here, but do you see what I'm saying?
Well, here's the funny thing. If you live your life and live your marriage with the gloves up in front of your face, eventually you're going to be in a boxing match.
100. Love that, George.
That's how it works. But when you live your life hands wide open, hey, there's no ring here. We're all in this together. We're on the same team. Amazing things happen. You build wealth exponentially together. And that's what my wife and I have done. From day one, we had one joint checking account, one joint savings account. Her name's on everything. And this is harder to do later in life when you've lived independently and you go, wait, this is my money that I earned, and whatever she earns, she can do with that what she wants. What happens when she stays at home? Well, then I guess I'll give her an allowance. Okay, so you're going to treat your wife like a child and hope this marriage is successful. Good luck with that, bro.
Good luck with that.
That's what we've seen happen in reality. So, Carl, I'm sorry that I really hate that this is happening. I hope there's hope for this marriage. But do not blame us because the problems were exposed in your marriage.
Yeah, he said no man on earth would give everything he had before marriage in a wife's name.
Listen.
I think you've created a category unto yourself, Carl.
I thought I liked every Carl I've ever met until this one.
Carl. Whenever I think of the name Carl, I think of On the Walking Dead, and the son's name was Carl.
I was thinking Carl Winslow, and that's very telling of our
No, Carl Winslow's
what we're
a good
into.
One. Carl,
okay, thank you.
Karl Lagerfeld. There's a lot of
good
Carls.
You lost me on that.
A lot of great Carls in the world.
Is that a sports reference?
No, fashion.
Oh, okay. Sports and fashion, the two things I missed out on.
Carl Lewis, track.
0 for 3. 0 for 3. All right, Justin is in Huntsville, Alabama. What's going on, Justin?
Hey, so I'm calling in today. I've just got a brief question. I'm about to get married in about a month and a half.
Woo!
My fiancée is in school full-time and working full-time. She is carrying about $20,000 in student debt. She's going to be a teacher. I'm self-employed, and I am debt-free, thankfully. I have a little bit of money saved up, and I do have some goals and aspirations we do to make some investments to leave things to our grandchildren hopefully one day. But I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing financially as soon as we get married for setting ourselves up to reach those goals. and how to take care of this student debt that she has.
I love that mentality. How much money do you have right now in savings?
About $50,000.
Woo!
Good for you.
And the wedding is paid for?
Yes, her parents and my parents both have contributed to that.
Beautiful. So it sounds like day one, after you come back from the honeymoon, combine the checking account and write a check and pay off the student loans.
Okay.
And then you still have an emergency fund on top of that sitting there, right?
Well, the $50,000 was kind
You'd
of
have
part
30.
of that.
You'd have 30 now.
50 minus 20 for her student loans. You still have 30 left over.
Absolutely.
Is that
Absolutely.
3 to 6 months of your basic budget?
It should be. It takes about $500 a month for me, and then for her, we're thinking it'll add another $300 a month.
How are y'all living?
You live in like a shoebox?
My grandparents worked really hard, and my dad and I are business partners together. And my grandparents.
You're telling me
set
your
us up pretty
entire
well.
expenses to run your life is $500.
I live pretty cheap. I drive an old truck.
How old
I've got
are
a
you?
landscaping company.
You rent?
23.
Okay, so you're still on your parents' insurance, still on their
Yeah.
health insurance, still on their car insurance. What are you paying for? A phone
Absolutely.
and food? Or are you on-
Actually, no. My business pays for everything. I've got it set up that way. My dad and my business covers everything: phone, insurance, all of that.
But if you run the
'cause we
business,
all-
isn't that profits you would have taken home that are going out as expenses?
In regards to the business itself, just can you restate that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, if let's say you're paying $100 for the phone through the business, that's great, but that's $100 you're not taking home that you're instead putting out there as an expense. So I just don't want to pretend like you have no expenses. When you really do, you're just running them through the business as sort of a write-off, I imagine.
Exactly.
So it's covering your utilities, it's covering your vehicle and your insurance, and you're on your parents' health and medical insurance. So yeah, you have low expenses. Just remember, it's not going to stay that way. Yeah, $30,000 of an emergency fund is
plenty.
perfectly fine.
So
for
which
you
means as soon as you're married, you're debt-free with an emergency fund. Now we can begin investing for retirement, 15% of our household income, and saving up a down payment for a house as a newlywed couple. You guys are in great shape, Justin.
are.
I'm cheering for you, man. That's awesome. Way to go. She's lucky to have you. You're lucky to have her. That's the kind of marriage you want, where you both feel like you got the longer end of the stick.
And when he's willing to put her name on the stuff.
That's right. He's combining finances
There you
day
go.
one, unlike Carl.
I get it. Switching banks is a pain in the you-know-what. But if your bank doesn't line up with your money goals, it's time to make the switch to Fairwinds Credit Union. Listen, you guys know how I feel about big banks. They make money when you stay broke, charging you overdraft fees, pushing credit cards, and telling you debt is normal. And that's why I only work with folks who help you, not just profit off of you. Fairwinds is different. They're owned by their members. They're nonprofit, and they share our values. They even advertise with billboards saying they want their members to be debt-free. So they built the Smart Checking and Savings Bundle just for Ramsey fans. You can open your account online in minutes, and here's what you get. Free checking with no minimums and no monthly fees. Savings with a high APY to help you in baby step 1 and beyond. And a mobile app that actually makes sense. Plus, you also get access to over 33,000 fee-free ATMs and more than 5,000 affiliated branches nationwide. So don't settle for a bank that slows your progress down. Choose one that's built to help you win with money. Go to fairwinds.org/Ramsey and open your Smart Bundle today.
Fairwinds is federally insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Kamel, joined by Jade Warshaw. Give us a call, 888-825-5225. And if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, feeling like you can't get ahead, you got to join one of our free Every Dollar trainings. There's new trainings every week this month. They're all hosted by one of our Ramsey personalities, Jade and myself included. We're going to show you how to stick to a budget and even find $9,000 of margin using Every Dollar so you can get out of debt and start building wealth. And that margin that could be a one-time thing. It could be ongoing. Mm-hmm. All of it added up. Over $9,000 on average is what our users are seeing. Plus, you can ask us any question during the live Q&A. It's kind of like the Ramsey Show, which is really fun, but a much smaller audience. And so join us. Sign up for free at ramseysolutions.com/webinar. And you're in for a good time. Tony is in Indiana up next. What's going on, Tony? What ails you?
Hi, how are you guys? I appreciate you taking my call.
Sure.
So this coming weekend, we've got my mother-in-law moving in with us. You
sound stoked about it, man.
Well, I'm trying to not have it affect me financially, not have it affect our marriage.
You sound like a puppy whose tail stopped wagging. Just my mother-in-law.
So why is she moving in? What's going on?
What's the impetus for this?
She's had some substance abuse issues.
Okay.
And we have convinced her to sell her condo, so she's at the point where she can walk away, pay all her debt, and not owe anybody anything. She'll probably have a few $1,000s to her name, so she won't be hurt that way. So we're trying to help out and do the right thing, and then...
Is she working?
No. She hasn't worked since October.
Did she get help for the substance?
That's been a thing too. It's kind of voluntary, so there hasn't been any progress there.
What do you mean voluntary?
Well, I don't think they can make you go into a program. You have to do it on your own.
But that would, if someone is moving into my house who has a history of substance abuse, there's no way I'm letting him in the front door unless there's clear progress towards healing. AKA she is in a program, she's in AA, rehab, whatever it may be in her situation.
Yeah. Do you have kids in the house?
We have 2 kids, yes.
That's a no for me, dog.
Yeah.
That's a no even for your mother-in-law. I guess that's the biggest thing I'm wrestling with. It's my wife's mother, so
yeah, you're creating an unsafe environment at that point.
What's the nature of the substance? Is it like alcohol abuse? Is she on like opioids? Like
hard
what is
drugs?
It? No, it's alcohol abuse.
Okay.
I think that this is hard. Okay. So I don't want to say anything. I'm not trying to be trite here, but, alcohol there's an expression of that, right? When she's under the influence of that, and she has not said that she wants help with it. So you have to know that she's going to be in your environment under the influence of alcohol. And I don't know how she expresses that. Is it anger? Is it rage? Does she get really quiet? I don't know what that is, but you now know that your kids are going to experience that as well. So that's the part where unless she had said, I would like to get help, I would like to go to rehab, that could paint a different picture, but she has not said that. So part of me wonders if you guys are not letting consequences associated with her actions hit her so that she might then say, I do need help. And I wish Dr. John was here. Matter of fact, if he's around here, roll him in. But,
John, come on in. But no, there needs to be a clear plan here of saying, hey, there's going to be a clear sobriety expectation. We need to have a plan. What happens if there is a relapse? We need to talk about all of this up front before any of this happens.
Yeah, we've had that discussion about sobriety and being in the house. I'm worried it's going to fail pretty quick.
Because she's not she's not shown that she can do that.
Is she
correct?
Willing and able to work?
I want to say yes, but the fact that she's been unemployed for, almost a full year now makes me question. Otherwise, a lot of it for me...
that would be another expectation. Hey, you're going to be working 40 hours a week if you're going to be living with us while staying completely sober.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are we doing all day?
Mother-in-law and I was completely detached from the situation, it would be a lot easier for me to make the call of it being a no. But like you said, it's a tough situation, and I want to not be like, I don't know.
It's not you being a jerk. It's you
but
setting the boundaries, and if she can't adhere to the boundaries, then that's her opting out.
But why does she have to live with you? I understood her selling off the house to get out of debt. Why can't she now go to an apartment? And you guys say, okay, we took the, you had a couple thousand left off of the sale of your house after paying off your debt. That's your, down payment on your apartment, first and last month's rent. And then, Mom, it's up to you to keep this thing rolling. You got a fridge full of food. You got this. It's up to you to keep it rolling. What does her living with you do? Because you guys are not addiction specialists. So what does that, I'm trying to understand, what does her living with you provide for her other than
a roof over her head?
But she can have a roof over her head.
In theory, but she hasn't been able to maintain a job since past October.
So
she's on the path of homelessness at this point.
But has she ever gotten that close to where it's like, I'm on the street? Do you think that she'll let herself get that close?
I honestly don't know. I guess we haven't gone that route of just saying good luck.
You may have to see, because if she's given, okay, your debt's gone, here's your apartment, this is a rent that you can afford if you just go out and grab a job at Walmart. Everything is here, and you've gone over the budget. Here's what you need to earn. Here's some of the places that you can apply. It's up to you, Mom, to go, maybe you fund her first month, and it's like, it's up to you to keep this going, versus you just giving her. Does that make sense? And you're also putting your family in a very precarious situation.
Yeah, I would not do some kind of handshake
deal.
We're
enabling in a way.
Well, what I would do personally, and this is not to be cruel, but I would have her sign a house rules and sobriety agreement that has very clear stipulations, very clear checkpoints as to what's going to happen and what happens if she doesn't comply. And that's that's just to be kind, because you've probably heard this phrase: to be unclear is to be unkind. To make up rules on the fly and kick her out when she's like, "Whoa, I didn't know," and so just lay it all out there and say, "If you're going to move in with us, it's going to be you have 30 days to get a full-time job. If you don't, you're going to need to go find your own place." That's it. And if you don't remain sober if there's alcohol in this house, you're out.
If you come home drunk, you're out.
Game over. And then it's up to her. She's a grown woman who makes her own decisions. It's not you being cruel. It's you saying, here are the rules so that we can create a safe environment for our family, which is your priority.
Yep.
And your wife needs to be on board with this too. It can't be like they're ganging up on you and they don't agree. You and your wife need to be in total alignment walking into this as a united front.
Yep. And I guess that's my biggest fear. I feel like this is going to go bad in some sort of way. And I just don't know which way it's going to go bad. And we've had a great marriage so far, and I don't want it to be affected by somebody else's poor decisions.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I think I'm willing to stand on business that I don't think I would bring her in. I think a caveat to me bringing her in and doing George's deal would be you must go through rehab first. That would be mom-in-law, if you do that, you can come stay with us. And then when you come stay with us, here are the rules. But I don't think I could, like you said, invite that level of chaos, like you said, because it will affect your marriage. It will affect what your kids see. Like that is, I feel like you got to hit this rehab first, and then we can talk about it.
And your spidey sense is tingling. That's all very valid. And if your wife disagrees with this, I think she's kind of a little starry-eyed by the situation, just wanting to help her mom because she's a sweet daughter. But you guys need to be united on this. There's going to be a lot of discussions, a lot of homework, figuring out, okay, what does this contract say? What must be true for her to live with us? And if she doesn't comply, that's her opting out. You gave her the choice, but we're not just going to give her carte blanche to do what she wants in our house and invite crazy in when we've got young kids. No, thank you. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey, are you staying on track with the baby steps? I hope so. If you're not sure, take a quick quiz to check your progress and receive a personalized plan just for you. Simply head to the show notes of this episode, click on the link titled, Are You on Track with the Baby Steps? And complete the quiz. Titus is up next in Pennsylvania, Pottsville to be exact.
Okay.
It's exciting. Titus, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
Quick question. So basically looking for some financial advice here. Would you take or would you pass? 28 years old, married, 2 little boys. We're farmers here, and my dad is getting older. He's ready to transition the farm. He is offering, so it's bank appraised $2.7 million. It cash flows between $360,000 and $400,000 a year. He's offering it to us at $1.9 million. My situation is I own a 50-acre farm, and it's appraised at $805,000. I owe just under $600,000 on it, so basically $200,000 in equity.
So would you sell your 50-acre farm and buy his? Is that the plan?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay, and you said it's appraised at $800,000?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
So you'd walk away from your farm with about $150K, maybe?
Probably $200,000.
$200,000 to put down on a $1.9 million deal?
That's correct.
Whew. But you're saying it's going to increase your income by $400,000 a year, or would that replace your income?
That replaces my income. The other caveat is it's not completely a full-time job. It's like a 40-hour-a-week job. I could probably pick up another 20 years.
That's full-time to city slickers like me. But I guess to the farmer, you're like, no, that's part-time. I normally do 60 to 80.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's where we go.
That's interesting. I mean, it sounds like it's a good deal. Is he in good health? Is he just retiring?
He's retiring, yep. He's off to some other enterprises.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, there's some real estate stuff here that I would want to at least ask a tax pro, maybe even a real estate attorney, to figure out, which is step up in basis, and if you inherited this instead of purchasing it, but it sounds like he needs the money.
That's actually, we've been working through that. Yeah, there is some interesting things there that can be done with inheritance.
Yeah, what did he buy it for?
He bought it as a bare field for like $200,000 and built every building that's on it. So it's a poultry raising operation. We raise about 700,000 chickens a year, and it's all the money is basically in the facilities there.
Wow. Have you run the numbers on taking out a $1.7 million mortgage for this?
I have. I'm looking at like 130 clear after running the operation and paying the mortgage.
Interesting. And what are you making? What are you taking home on your current farm?
So I'm working full time away from the farm, and I just do the farm on weekends and evenings. I'm making just around 100K.
So all this for a 30K bump?
That's correct.
But you would be working less, you said.
Yes, and I would lose my 100K salary now and just go to the 360 to 400K. I would make then. Yeah,
that would be your gross salary for the year.
That's correct. Yep.
What does your wife think about this?
She's good with it. We love the farming lifestyle. We like living in the country and raising our 2 boys that way. 100% on board.
Wow. I mean, on paper, if you've run the numbers going, hey, our income's going to increase this much, we can very comfortably afford the payment on this farm, it's going to consistently yield this. There's definitely more risk with this situation. I mean, you still owe that lender regardless of the harvest. you know the farm life way better than I do. Yep. I'm beyond my skis on this one. But I would get the advice of multiple experts in this field. No pun intended.
Is it more about half the work? Is that the biggest allure?
No. The allure is basically we could own our own operation. I can be at home once this thing is paid for. I can be at home full time with the family.
But wouldn't you be able to do those things? Wouldn't you be able to do those things quicker if you stayed in the farm you had because you'd owe less?
Well, I'd have to get a job, basically. So I'm working on this farm full time, and that's where my salary is coming from. And so if I don't want it, Dad's going to sell it. And at that point, probably, I don't keep my job there, and I'm taking a lunchbox somewhere.
Do you also lose benefits that would affect your family if you're just farming?
Not necessarily. I mean, no, not necessarily. I'm not against.
Okay, because here's my thing on paper: you're tripling your payments and tripling your income.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't want it to be a kind of like a net wash in the end. Where you're going, hey, we're making great money, but man, it's going way back out, and there's a lot of upkeep here.
That's kind of what it sounds like. That's why I can't understand why I don't really see the benefit other than the less hours of work.
How I run the numbers, I could, if I pick up a part-time job, I can have it paid for in maybe 15 or 16 years, and at that point, I have no debt, and it should be all just straight income.
That's a long-term plan for something that is very physically taxing. You're like, well, 16 years from now of me working 80 hours a week, hopefully we can be debt-free.
Can we go back to your current farm for a little bit that you work on the weekend? You just said you do it on the weekends. Is that what it is?
That's correct, yep.
What would happen if you poured 40 hours a week into that farm?
It's difficult. So it's difficult making a full-time living on a small farm.
Understood.
It can be done. But you're working 80 to 90 hours a week for probably, in the 100 to 125K return.
Okay. So your acres are limiting your output, obviously.
Next question. What does Dad do if you don't go through with this deal? What's his plan?
Probably puts it on auction.
Ooh.
And takes the 2.7.
I just don't want you to do it to help out Dad. Obviously, he's giving you a deal on this. Would he sell it for $2.7 million if it went to auction?
Yes, it would go for that.
Wow. Whew. Man, these numbers just kind of, you're taken aback by it. And so it would definitely give me pause. I would want to just cross the T's, dot the I's, get 7 people's eyes on this thing, have everything drawn up, contracts, lawyers, make sure it looks good on paper, run the numbers 7 times in the budget before I would make this leap.
Okay.
Because it's going to add stress.
We've been working on. I haven't. I feel like I've done that. I just wanted to get your opinion. Basically.
What about and sorry, one more thought. So the living situation. When you go to your dad's farm, is there a residence that you'll get to live in? How does that play into all this?
Is it very much inhabitable right now? Your family would love it, or is it going to cost $100,000 to renovate it?
No, it's very much inhabitable. Very nice house.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah, other than the big red flag to me is the step up in basis inheritance piece. So I would talk to a real estate attorney on that one and a tax pro to understand the implications of this deal for both your father and for you. But man, if you're you've done the math, your sights are set on this thing, and you've crunched the numbers, your wife's on board, your family's on board, it's undoable in a sense. Like if you hate this place and it's a nuisance, could you sell it for $2.7 million a few years from now?
I could, yep.
But you wouldn't because it's too sentimental at that point, isn't it? It's Dad's farm. He wouldn't have wanted this, right?
I would forfeit some collateral with with my parents' relationship there.
I think that would
take it over, and then I would cash out the $800K.
And then you make all the profit, and Dad didn't. He's going, wait, I gave that to you so that's the other part of this you need to think through is the what ifs and the feelings and the relationships and what could be damaged if things don't work out perfectly on paper.
That's a good point, George.
That's all we've seen so far is on paper, but life, as you know, is much more than that. So, man, I mean, it's a sweet deal. You're basically getting, quote, free $800,000 in discount from Dad, which is nice, but it's also still a $1.7 million mortgage, hoping that we can still create this level of income consistently. But it sounds like you're willing to do the work, get 7 jobs if you have to keep this dream alive. So you have a green light for me, but it's sort of like it's caution. Maybe a flashing yellow.
With
How about
caution.
that? Flashing yellow for me on this one. But man, you know more about this than I do. So I'm beyond my skis. But man, it makes me want to get on a farm, Jade. You think I could survive out there for at least an hour?
Oh, no.
If it was 70 degrees in the shade and I could only lift like things under 50 pounds, I could be out there.
You could be out there. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
I'd wear some skinny jean overalls, make everyone upset. From the Ramsey Network, this is The Ramsey Show. I'm George Kamel, joined by Jade Warshaw. This is the show where we help people build wealth, do work they love, and create amazing relationships. Christian is in Denver coming up here. What's going on, Christian?
Hi there. Thank you for taking my call also.
Sure.
I'm in a bit of a pickle situation. I have an older sister who started a business under my name, an LLC, and
under your name?
Time, yes.
Is it your business?
It's not mine, no.
Did you know that she was doing this?
Yes, I consented because I don't know. She asked me as a favor, kind of thing.
Is this
why?
like a cosigner for debt? I don't understand how this was a favor. Why did she put her own name on it?
Construction company, and it was kind of so that she didn't have. She's a bit of a con artist, and she did it so that she didn't have too many businesses under her name.
What? And you agreed?
Yes, like an idiot.
I was going to say, what does that say about you to work hand in hand with a known con artist?
I know. I didn't think it would have caused this many issues. She.
So,
ended
what
up also
issues are you
taking a loan
facing?
out and
tell us the
what was
issues
that?
you're facing.
Yeah, so she and then years later, COVID happened, and she decided to take a loan out under this LLC, and so I just found out she just hasn't been paying it at all, and it's just
to use for personal whatever, just blowing money.
What was that?
What did she use the debt for?
She personal uses. She did not use it for the business
at
all.
So she's been fraudulently starting LLCs, taking out debt against that to then spend personally.
Yes.
And then you were like, sure, I'll help you out, sis. I'll be an accomplice to this crime.
Yeah.
So how much money?
Unfortunately.
How much money? How deep is she in this?
Yeah, the loans, it was 2 loans. They were a total of $122,000, and now with interest they're about $135,000.
You do understand that you're the one liable here. You're the one who's going to get sued. You're the one who's going to have your credit totally trashed.
I feel like there's a legality there too, because it's completely
the debt
fake.
is in your name, correct?
Yes.
Oh my
goodness.
And
there's no operating business. It's just totally fake?
Now, there was an operating business, and she ended up losing that business in 2022.
Moving it to where?
She just lost it.
Lost it,
no
losing it.
Anymore.
Okay, I misunderstood you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier that she has done a lot of this. How many fake businesses or failed businesses has she run through?
Well, under this LLC with my name, it started off as a retail shop selling candles and things, and then she ended up doing a barber shop salon.
And then you said she also had a construction business.
And then she also had a construction business, which I'm not even sure if she had that under her name, but she.
Do any of these businesses still exist? They're actually operating day to day?
Nope.
Now, can I ask you a question? What in the world would make you say yes to this? Where was your mind at? We've spent enough time talking about her. Tell us about you and what would cause you to agree to something so clearly bad.
Yeah, she was just like when she first convinced me to do the business under my name. She pretty much was just saying like, this is going to help your credit out. If you need to take a loan out in the future, this would help you out.
And you believed her?
Yes, full.
Well, here's the bottom line. If we're starting today, you're not going to refinance this in her name. She's not going to do that, and she probably can't do that. No. That's the solution here. She takes over the payments, refinances the LLC, and all the debt in her name.
Mm-hmm. But she won't do that.
Have you talked to her about that?
I have not, no.
That would be, I would fight to the death to make sure that happens. Because if not, here's the bad news. you're on the hook for $130,000, and you have to pay that off.
And you may as well fight to the death on the thing that George just told you, because your relationship's ruined anyway. If she says, do you see what I'm saying? The fact that she conned her own sister
is disgusting. First of all, it's despicable. So this relationship didn't exist. It was transactional, and she used you. And that should make you angry.
Right.
What are you doing for work?
I'm a server, but I just stopped working because I'm expecting a baby. So I'm expecting a baby pretty soon here. So
is the father in your life? Where's Dad?
He has some mental health issues, so he's unfortunately not. He's not going to support me much, I don't think.
Okay.
So you're going to be a single mom?
Yes.
So we must talk to your sister, and she's got to understand. You've got to put this in terms that she can understand and say, listen, you tricked me, and I am now in really hot water. I cannot pay this loan that is actually your loan. I have another life coming into this world that I have to feed and take care of. You need to come down with me to the bank, and we've got to refinance this so that you can take the payment. Otherwise, you are effective. That means you're effectively trying to ruin my life if you don't do this. And that's what I'd say to her.
You're going to have to find the last ounce of empathy that exists in her body, if it's in there, to convince her to do this. Because you've got your own crisis going on. The last thing you need is this. Do you have any other debt?
Yeah, student loan debt.
How much?
Right now, I'm not sure, but maybe like $65,000.
What's that degree in, or what did you start school for?
That was a communication degree and a double degree in business, Spanish business.
Okay.
Translating kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what type of job were you hoping to do with that, and can we still start headed towards that direction?
I mean, like interpreting.
Yeah.
I'm translating.
Have you looked for jobs in that field?
I have not. No.
How come?
I don't know. I just got used to the serving and making tips, and just like I just stayed doing this.
So what are you doing for income now? You just said you'd stopped.
Yeah, right now I'm not doing anything. I just stopped about a week ago because.
How are you paying the bills?
Well, I just moved in with my mom.
Okay.
And I was able to save. I have some money saved, and the worry is that the government will just like grab it.
Well, if you don't pay your student loans, they will.
And the creditors are going to come after it. And so, Christian, I'm heartbroken over your situation. I'm going to gift you a session with a financial coach on us who can walk with you, for much longer than we can on this call to try to unravel the pieces and find some hope in this very desperate situation. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Hang on the line. Chris is going to pick up. We're going to hook you up with a financial coaching session.
And start looking for translator jobs today.
Buying or selling your home is a big deal. And there's a lot of clickbait headlines out there, doom and gloom, fear-mongering, conflicting data. It's hard to know what's really happening in the housing market. And so we're here to make the latest trends easy to understand. Median home prices stayed steady last month at about $441,000. The number of homes for sale hit 1 million for the second month in a row, and buyers have more options and negotiating power, and sellers are facing more competition. Average 15-year fixed rate held steady at about 6% last month. So if you're debt-free, you got a fully funded emergency fund, a solid down payment, now is a great time to buy and even sell your home. So to learn more about housing market trends and get free tools to help you buy or sell with confidence, go to RamseySolutions.com/market or click the link in the show notes and description if you're on podcast or YouTube. Teresa is up next in Chattanooga, Tennessee. What's going on, Teresa?
Hello. Just down the road from you, hoping you can settle marital argument.
Oh, we love
juicy.
We love doing this.
All right, who's right and who's wrong?
I'm right, of course.
Perfect.
My husband and I are both 57. We are both currently transitioning our careers, which is a little weird timing, but it's happening.
It's about time you had a midlife crisis, Teresa.
Yes, I know. I've been in my job for 20 years, so it's a good time to transition. We have $2.5 million saved, and we're debt-free. Good cars. We're all set up for that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have $290,000 mortgage, and my husband Dave says all day long, Dave says, pay off the mortgage. My financial advisor says, you're making about 10% on your investments. Your mortgage interest is 4.25%. Let's not pay it off and be making the money on the mortgage money that's in the bank.
Can we play a fun game, Teresa?
Let's do it.
Who is incentivized for you to stay investing instead of pull out $290,000 to pay off the mortgage? Who benefits from that the most?
And I totally understand that.
Who is it? Say it.
She does.
Exactly. Your financial advisor is incentivized to keep you invested.
You were going to say that.
So, I think it's important to have the full context. And also, yes, we always say, hey, the market will generally do 10, 11% over the long haul. Mm-hmm. But we also know the market could be negative 22% next year. And so there's a forced savings plan with a known variable when you pay down the mortgage. And we also know, and you know, it's more than just about math. You'll have emotional peace as you head into what could be retirement in the next 5 years.
That's his thing, is to not have that hanging on us, especially in this transition time.
And we didn't factor in this. You can now invest your mortgage payment when it's paid off, can't you?
Yes.
Have you calculated those numbers? Have you factored that into the equation?
Well, no, because at the moment we're transitioning, so I don't have a real idea of what our income is going to be in the next couple of years.
Well, let's say there is none. What if you have a real hard time transitioning, there's a layoff? Right. Man, having no mortgage would really free you guys up to be flexible, wouldn't it?
Yes, and having that extra $300,000 in the bank would give me a little more security. So, see, this is what we do all day.
You have $2.5 million. Let's not act like this is your entire nest egg we're asking you to deplete. How much of this is in non-retirement?
Oh, he's really smiling now. Can you not do this? I don't think.
Oh, your husband's next to you?
No, he's on the other end of the sofa and he can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. He's loving this whole conversation.
I mean, you also have to remember this. If you paid off the mortgage and you hate it, you could always borrow against it again and put it right back.
You could. It'll be a slightly higher rate, but you could do it. The banks will always lend you more.
But I bet you won't. Like, I'm willing to make that deal because I know you won't.
Okay. Well, I was to me, the math, and, I was showing him, like, what 10% looks like compared to 4%.
But we're not, here's the thing. The truth is we're not making a guaranteed 10% every year.
And there's more to the equation than math, which is what George also highlighted.
And go look at what you're actually paying in interest this month, because the mortgage is front-loaded with the interest.
Right. So this month I paid $1,000 in interest and $500 in principal.
Exactly. And so you have to look at the actual numbers of what's happening with the interest. It's not the same as compound growth in the investments.
That's a good point.
As it is paying the interest. So there's the mathematical argument, there's the emotional argument, there's the logical argument, but the truth is you're going to have less risk in your life and more peace if you pay off the mortgage. Could you have potentially made a little bit more if you left it? Maybe. We don't know. The world could implode next year. We just don't know what's going to happen. And so not owing people money is always going to put you in a better position.
I was going to say that. Usually when people when they have times of distress, the number one thing they think about is their home. They want to keep their home and their family safe. That's it. Right? I mean, you've been on this earth 57 years, so you know when the moment comes, if somebody loses their job or you're unsure about a paycheck or a health scare, those are the things you think of. You want to keep your family safe. You want to make sure your home is safe, right?
Right.
So here you have it.
And think about this, too.
Ultimate security.
When you pay off that mortgage, it lowers your monthly expenses forever, doesn't it?
Yes, by $1,800.
Which means you need less in retirement than you did previously to cover your expenses.
Y'all killing me.
I hate to use logic.
Want us to be right?
I'm trying to hit you at every angle, Teresa. Here's the thing. I think your financial advisor is a better salesperson than your husband. That's what it comes down to. They're more persuasive.
I was looking at the math, and the math made sense to me. And we've been with her for a long time, and her numbers have been pretty good. The numbers been solid recently. And
I'm not saying
yes,
she's a bad person. I'm just saying that people tend to follow. They tend to follow the incentive, whether they're sometimes realizing it or not. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed. I agree. The bad news is I lost the argument. The good news is I don't have to listen to Dave says all day.
I love this so much. Hey, call us back when you're completely debt-free. Let us know if you like it or not.
Now you got to listen to George says.
Yeah. I'm just telling you what I have done and what I would do. And so I don't tell people to do things that I wouldn't do. And I paid off my mortgage at a very young age, because even though I could have made, you could have made XYZ in the market over those next 30 years if you hung on to a low, I didn't care, because life happened, and my wife wanted to stay home. And guess what? She could do it, because we didn't have a mortgage payment. And so you got to think about the reality of life on top of, yes, some of the logic, some of the math, some of the variables there. But it's a fun discussion. We're having fun with you. I'm so proud of you guys. You're multimillionaires. It's a moot point either way. You're doing great. Laura is up next in Portland. What's happening, Laura? Get right to the question. We're up against the clock.
Okay, should I sell my house or not? We bought it last February 2024. We owe $421,000 on it. I could make about $50,000 according to the realtor if I sold it for $490, $495. Our payment is actually 37% of our take home. My husband makes $145,000 a year gross. We, after insurance and 401, all that, our take home is $8,822 a month. We have a total of $17,877 in debt. After all of our expenses, we have for the month about $4,000 left over. I feel that our mortgage payment is just it's just too much. It's way over the 25%.
But you factored in investing, didn't you? So if you just looked at after-tax income but then took out these other deductions,
you might be okay.
It'd probably look closer to 30%, right?
Yeah. So what I just said exactly what goes into our account after, yeah.
So that's after insurance. Okay. So likely insurance is coming out of his check that you did.
Healthcare, investing, all of that. It feels tight looking at the parameter. So I want to free you from that. Nothing is on fire here. You guys have an incredible income. I would be aggressive at cleaning up this debt and then getting an emergency fund back in place. But you're not in a place where I would say, you got to go sell the house today, Laura. You're in a real pickle. I think you're doing better than you think.
I have, I put $1,000 on something, and after everything, I have $50 till next payday.
That sounds like a budgeting issue.
Are you guys budgeting together?
I know. I just got the Every Dollar app, and I'm just kind of confused with
we'll
it.
Coach you on that.
Aggressive.
Jump on there. You get the premium one. If not, we'll gift it to you. You can jump on a 10-minute one-on-one coaching call with an Every Dollar Pro on our team. They'll help you overcome the obstacles you're facing with budgeting. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. Let's go outside the studio for a second because we've got some special guests in the lobby on the debt-free stage. Kyle and Emily are here to share their story. What's up, guys?
Hey, Hello. How are you?
Where are you guys from?
Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Love it. And you traversed the terrain to be here in Nashville, Tennessee for the debt-free scream. How much did you guys pay off?
We paid off $150,000.
Nice.
How long did that take?
26 months.
Wow, that's aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the range of income during this time?
So we started at $130,000 and ended at $90,000.
Okay,
Whoa.
somebody stayed home?
Yep.
I knew it.
Hey.
Yep. Baby time?
Yep.
I knew
baby
it.
time.
Whoa, oh my gosh, this baby is so
if you're watching on YouTube, you need to, because that's one cute baby.
That is a cute baby. Wow.
Okay, that's the best reason to have a dip in income right there. And debt-free in the process. What kind of debt was this?
It was our house.
I knew it. You guys are amazing. Wow.
You guys, if you're not watching on YouTube, this couple looks like they might be 22 at most. They're so young.
You're 24?
Yeah. 24 and 25.
Yeah. Oh, my
gosh. With a paid-for house. Okay, what caused you guys to be so weird at such a young age? Who hurt you? Who caused this trauma to get you guys debt-free in your early 20s?
I don't think anybody caused us trauma. I think we were looking for peace, so we solved for that by getting rid of all of our bills, simplifying our life, and ultimately following Christ. So we put him first in our life. And
that's amazing. So how'd you get connected to the Ramsey stuff?
Well, Kyle actually found it first, but he showed me John's show, the Dr. John Deloney show, and that's kind of how I got segued into Ramsey. But Kyle was the one who really found the Ramsey show first.
Yeah, so I run a lawn and landscape company, so when I was outside working, I needed something kind of positive to listen to, so I stumbled upon Dave, and I started following the principles, and it paid off.
That is incredible. Okay, so you weren't like a financial peace baby. Your parents didn't instill this in you.
No.
You have some common sense principles. It sounds like you were not in crippling consumer debt at any point in your life.
No.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, so I went to school for a year and racked up 22 grand in debt, and then decided that wasn't for me. So I left, started the company, finished at community college, my associates in business management, and then used the business to pay off the $22,000 in debt. Yep.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now you're doing that. You're the income provider for the family with this lawn care business. Emily's at home with the baby.
Right.
This is a good life
All
with a
is good.
paid-for
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the house worth?
It's worth $250,000.
Amazing.
Wow. And how much do you guys have in the nest egg? You guys been saving?
Not too much. We're probably right around
30.
That's great. Yeah, you've been busy with this house.
Yeah. So you're on the path to become Baby Steps millionaires.
Right.
My guess is by 30, you guys are going to be there. At this rate, because now you got your income freed up. It's your greatest wealth building tool. So the world is your oyster. I'm so proud of you guys.
So
Thank
exciting.
you.
What was the hardest part over that 26 months?
Honestly, God has just blessed us so much. I feel like when bumps would come into the road, he would just provide. Whether that was someone just giving us like a random financial gift, I don't know. God just provided so much throughout the journey.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the most important question then is, how are you going to celebrate?
Well, I actually took my mom to Florida for a weekend, so that was funny.
Just your mom,
Awesome.
not him?
Well, with a baby at home, we didn't want to leave him overnight.
Oh,
First time
understood.
parents. So,
Yeah.
but he's getting ready to take his dad to Florida too.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So who were your biggest cheerleaders?
maybe your dad was a big cheerleader.
Yeah. And honestly, you guys, like listening to
you guys were great.
and-
Good.
Yeah.
We're happy to be
Big
cheerleading
motivation.
you guys. That's amazing. So how does it feel to be completely debt-free, especially at 24, 25 years? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it feels great. It feels great. We have more freedom to give. We have more freedom to spend on little things. Just when we're out, we can just grab something extra if we want to.
Yeah.
Was this a secret? Do your friends know about this?
I mean,
now they know.
They do now.
They do now.
Yeah.
But honestly, we weren't telling a ton of people, not for any reason, just surprise.
Well, now they're going to be
surprise.
asking you, can you tell me more about this Ramsey stuff? Like,
Yeah,
it's going to be in their algorithm now,
yeah.
feeding them videos.
This is not normal behavior, guys. This is really amazing.
I love this. So what would you tell that young newlywed couple out there who's gone, well, we got to just get a big house. We got to get a car. We just take on the payment. We can't save. We got the student loans. How would you encourage them?
I would say if you're able to take on, even if it's like a $400,000 mortgage or more, just stay within your means, buy what you can afford. You don't need to get the biggest, best thing that you can spend money on. Try not to finance anything. And if you get a mortgage, pay it off as quick as you can.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was your interest rate?
5.75%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Knock that thing out.
Sure did.
Did you get it 26 months ago? Like, was it that you just got the mortgage and immediately decided we're paying it off?
March of 23, we got it and paid it off in May.
Holy cow.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
So the bigger question is, how do you get a spouse on board like that from day one? Were you guys aligned on finances before marriage?
Yep.
Yeah. I think it was like the second date we were talking about finances and kids and everything. So just right from the get-go, we realized that we were aligned. And honestly, I think that would be the biggest piece of advice is to get on the same page with your spouse. I couldn't imagine doing it without.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you're going in the same direction instead of pulling each other in two different directions.
Yeah.
Going, I don't want to, and I had to drag her on board. 26 months, you guys are debt free.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you guys. You're an inspiration to us and to many out there in the lobby and many watching and listening at home. So thank you for making the trip to be here to celebrate with us.
Thank you.
You ready to do this thing?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay, we've got Kyle and Emily from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. $150,000 paid off. That's the mortgage in 26 short months, making $130 down to $90 so that Emily could stay home with that sweet baby. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. All glory to God, we're debt-free!
So sweet. There it is. They're even aligned in their pitch, the tone, the words.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a couple.
It was everything. Lockstep, baby.
Two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
I love to see this. It's amazing what happens, Jade, when you have that alignment early on in a marriage. And it's why we fight for this when people call in and we say, combine your finances, combine your life, combine your goals, and see what happens.
Shared goals, shared effort, shared intensity, all of it. They just,
some people don't see this progress in 26 years, let alone 26 months.
Exactly. Yes.
They're still hanging on to the mortgage, hanging on to the loans, not aligned in what we're going to do with our money.
Yeah.
And look at the options and flexibility they have, too. When they have that margin, she decides, hey, I want to stay home. Yeah, absolutely. We can afford that. The math checks out. This is our goal that we're both aligned on. Go for it.
Yeah, they're unstoppable. Totally unstoppable, I tell you.
Very inspiring.
It is inspiring.
Oh, man.
Social question?
Yeah, let's hit. What do you got for me today? I'm a little nervous.
These.
Depending on which platform, I kind of get nervous.
There's one on here that's specifically for me.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm deciding if I want to answer it. Okay, Jade, what change made the biggest impact on crushing your student loans?
Oh, okay. So how much student loans did you guys have?
It was $280,000 of student loans. And the biggest impact on crushing my student loan debt was the realization that no one else is going to pay it. Like the realization of going, okay, there's no more deferment. There's no more putting it aside. There's no more forbearance. There's no,
no more $10 words.
No, yeah. Nothing's
the government's
gonna
not
save
coming
me.
for you.
Yeah.
On the white horse.
Yeah. And so the biggest impact was realizing I get to decide who I want to be in this scenario. I can be a person who is bout it, or I can be a person who is waiting to be rescued by a hero that doesn't exist. The hero is me.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And that's, I think, the heart behind this. Yes, I'm super happy they paid off their house, but really behind that is they have agency over their life.
Yeah.
They don't owe people money. They feel invincible because they know, hey, if we can pay off $150,000 in 26 months, what can't we do financially?
Oh, so good. They're unstoppable, I tell you.
At 23, this is just, what are they going to do the rest of their life? Just sit around and watch The Price is Right? That's all. That's all that's in the cards.
No, it's better.
So much better than that, especially with that sweet baby. Congrats, guys. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 3:3. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. And in a wild transition, Taylor Swift said, no matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind.
Ooh, I like that.
I'll amen that, Taylor.
That's like what is it? It's nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Have you heard that? I like that one.
That's a good one. All right. I'll credit Jade Warshaw with that quote. All right.
It's not mine.
Anthony's up next in Ohio. What's going on, Anthony? How can we help?
Hi, thanks, George and Jade, for taking my call. I was calling because my wife and I are, our oldest son is getting ready to start school, and we are back and forth on if we would like to homeschool or send him to public school.
And we get to decide?
Just looking for advice. We're kind of split down the middle, both of us. Just looking for some outside perspective is all.
Okay.
So it's not private school, so there's not like a price tag attached to it. It's just, do we want him going to public school or do we want him to have the education
does
at home?
homeschool mean one of us has to stay home and forego income that is currently there?
Yeah, so that's kind of one of the things that we're hung up on. So my wife has been a stay-at-home mom since our oldest was born. He's 5. We've been living off of my income. I just kind of stumbled upon you guys a few weeks back, and I really want to start to try to get aggressive with paying down debt. And I think, with him going to public school, and we have a daughter as well that'll be starting school next year. So, them going to school, that'll free up some of her time to, add some additional income and get more aggressive with our debt.
So what would be, so we kind of understand why it could be good for public school. What was the homeschool argument?
Was this a values thing or just convenience?
Yeah, kind of that. Yeah, I mean, so she's more on the homeschool side, and I'm, it's kind of like a percentage. I'm like 60-40 public, and she's like 60-40 home. We've been praying about it, just trying to figure out, which way we should go. But she's more along the lines of like, she doesn't think our 5-year-old son should be on the same schedule as me, going to school for 7 hours or 8 hours a day.
Okay, got you. I understand that.
Yeah, she wants to kind of like let them ease into it, wake up on their own time. Not spend 8 hours, more like 3 hours a day doing schoolwork.
Understood. So go back to the financial side. Tell us more about your financial picture right now. Do you guys have debt? What do you have saved? And what are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, so we do have debt, not a crazy amount. So we have outside the mortgage, we have about $45,000 in car loans between 2 vehicles, and then we have about $5,000 in credit card debt, and then our mortgage is about $160,000.
Okay, so the cars, it's kind of one of these things where there's a way to solve for the financial side of it. I mean, if you guys really wanted to do the homeschool thing while still accomplishing the financial side, then it comes down to these 2 cars. Maybe.
What are you making?
I earn $120 gross a year.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it's tied up there. Is there one of those that you could downsize?
Yeah, potentially. So I've been kind of tossing around the idea of selling my truck. That's the larger of the 2.
What is it?
It's a 2020 Chevy Silverado. We owe about $30 on it.
30? Yeah. I mean, there's a big chunk right there.
Are you underwater on it? Could you sell it for what it's worth or more?
Probably about what it's worth. I don't think I'm too much underwater on it. I just bought it last September.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any money saved anywhere?
Not really. We got about $2,000, and I'm thinking about what I should do with that $1,000 since I just started listening to you guys to get it down to $1,000.
So if you sell the truck, you still need another vehicle, right?
Correct. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I drive an hour one way to work.
Oh, wow.
So I would definitely need a vehicle, and then, for her, just doctor's appointments and various different things. And she also we do earn a little bit of additional income. She has a photography business that doesn't earn a crazy amount. It's mainly around the holidays. It's probably about $10,000 a year.
What would she do full time if she did go back to work?
So that's another great question. I think it would need to be something that's somewhat flexible, because I think we would still want her to be off during the summers to be at home with the kids, because that's how it's been for the last, like I said, 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So probably something in a restaurant. I mean, she did that when we first got together for a while. Or she could really focus in on her photography and try to expand that a little bit. We don't really need to invest any money into that to grow it. So that's something that we could probably go down as well.
Here's the thing. I think that this is just my thought when I look at your numbers. I think that you guys should be totally fine on $120,000 a year. Like, that's your salary. The problem is you guys need to live on less than you make. That's what it is. Yeah. So although her going back and picking up a job for a while could help you pay off this debt a little faster, I think really what you guys need to do is really lock down the budget to get this thing done, because you guys having $120,000 shovel to work on this debt is pretty decent if you sell the truck. And I think that will allow you to still clear it in the time period that
You could be debt-free by the end of the year.
Yeah. But you got to sell the truck.
And then get a fully funded emergency fund. That's going to put you guys in a really solid place for her to stay home, homeschool, if that's what she wants to do. And, hey, if she doesn't like it, you can always turn back to public school. If they go to public school and they hate it and they're not thriving there, she can always pull them out and homeschool. So nothing is fatal here. But I think the bigger thing is, what is our plan to aggressively get ourselves in a better financial position so that we can make this decision from a place of strength instead of stress?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, I keep telling her that after listening to you guys for the last few weeks, I really just want to get all the stress out of our life and just make peaceful decisions and be able to make this decision no matter, if we were debt-free, this decision would probably be a little bit different. I don't know.
You might not even be talking about it. It might have just naturally happened that you homeschool them.
Right. Yep. Okay.
I love it, man. Yeah, best of luck on the journey, and cut up those cards. You don't need those things where you make $120,000. We don't need the points. We don't need the possibility of debt. We need some peace in our life right now so we can create some stability for our family. Appreciate the call. Kelly is up next in St. Louis. What's going on, Kelly?
Hi. Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. Okay, so we are in baby step 2, and I'm looking forward to baby step 3. We only have about $5,000 left in baby step 2, so I'm looking forward.
Woo-hoo.
Can we do so it's 3 to 6 months, and can we do 3 or 4-ish, park it in a high yield savings and let it do the rest, or do I need to shoot for 6 months?
That's a good question. I actually really like this question. So there's a couple of things to consider with baby step 3. First off, just always remember that it's your basic budget. A lot of people think it's 3 to 6 months of income, like their full whatever they make in a month. And it's not that. It's if you were to whittle your budget down to kind of emergency mode, obviously your 4 walls, daycare, insurance, it's not your budget with all the bells and whistles built in. So that's the first thing to think of. And then second, determining between 3 to 6 months, you want to look at a couple of things. Are you a dual income household? Because if you are, then there's a little bit less risk there. If one person loses their income, there's still another income coming in. So you could look at something like that as you're determining, is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Other thing you could determine is your health. Are you guys in good health? Does anybody have chronic issues that are keeping them in and out of the hospital or could, take away their income? That sort of thing. So those are the factors to determining if you're going to set it at 3. And like you said, let the interest maybe do the rest over time.
It would take years for the interest to do the work. Because, look at this, $15,000 in a high yield savings, you're going to make $500 a year.
Yeah. But I'm just saying at that point, I'm just saying at that point, you would be okay if it were just 3 months, right? If 2 incomes, solid jobs, everybody's healthy, right? I'll be honest with you, George, and you throw a flag. I just tend to err on the side of 6 months kind of regardless. I don't know the way the world is. I just like 6 months. That being said, I wouldn't let it stop you from moving on to baby step 4 or 3B.
Yeah, is the next step for you trying to save a down payment or invest?
No, the next step is pay off our mortgage.
Oh, great.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, and we only
you gotta
have
be investing
70,000
15%.
left on it. So
you got to be investing 15% first. Any money beyond that goes to college and paying down the mortgage. So if you wanted to get to 3 or 4 and then begin the other steps and maybe slowly add to that emergency fund, that would be okay. But again, to Jade's point, man, there's nothing like having a 6-month emergency fund ready to battle whatever comes at you.